My mom's best friend got stuck on a cable car, she said. I guess I owe you now, don't I? The skyscrapers sparkled in the early morning sun, and the network of cable cars stretched between them like glimmering threads in a giant silver web. Today, he wasn't just gazing at the view. He had a job. His mom had asked him to help at the city's annual tech convention, where people displayed the newest inventions, robots, and AI gadgets. Alex's job was simple: carry small tools, fetch drinks, and generally not break anything. Not too hard, he thought. He adjusted the strap of his backpack and walked briskly past the glass towers, marveling at the bright advertisements that floated in holographic displays. A soft hum filled the air, the sound of the cable cars moving silently, gliding from one tower to another. Alex loved the idea of them. Humans had built machines that could carry people through the sky with ease. It was clever, it was daring, and today he would see just how clever he really was. Alex, a familiar voice called from across the plaza. He turned and saw Clara, his mom's best friend, waving wildly. She was wearing her usual bright scarf and a wide smile that made her look younger than her age. "Hi, Clara," Alex shouted back, jogging to her. "What are you doing here?" Clara grinned. "I came to see your mom's presentation, but first I might need a little help." She tilted her head toward the cable cars. "Or maybe a lot of help," Alex frowned. "Help with what?" Before she could answer, a soft alarm sounded above, followed by a sudden screech. Alex instinctively looked up. One of the cable cars, tiny in the distance, silver and sleek, had stopped midair. People inside pressed their faces to the glass, waving frantically. And sitting near the front was Clara. Alex froze. "Clara." "Hang on," he shouted, though he knew she could already hear him. Clara waved, still smiling, but there was a hint of nervousness in her eyes. "I guess I owe you now, don't I?" she joked, though her voice carried tension. "Just make sure I don't become a permanent exhibit up here." Alex's heart thumped. He had read about emergencies like this in textbooks, but this was real. Real enough that he could feel the wind whipping past the towers, carrying a dizzying drop below. He looked around and saw that the security staff were already trying to solve the problem, but the system's AI had locked down the cable car. Nobody could override it quickly. Alex's mind raced. He had his hover drone in his backpack, a small, experimental drone he had built for school projects. It wasn't designed for rescues, but it had strong motors and a flexible design. He fumbled with the strap, pulled it out, and activated it. The drone hummed to life, its propellers spinning so fast that it created a small gust of wind. "Clara, I think I can reach you," Alex called up. She looked down, eyes wide but trusting, and nodded. "Be careful, Alex," she said, half teasing, half serious. "I've been in tight spots before, but this one is new." Alex guided the drone upward, maneuvering around other moving cable cars. The wind tugged at him and the drone, but he kept his focus. Below, people were staring, phones raised to record the unusual rescue attempt, but Alex didn't care about fame. He cared about keeping Clara safe. When the drone reached the cable car, Alex attached a small stabilizer to the front glass panel. It emitted a soft blue light interfacing with the car's AI. The security system beeped, then spoke in a calm, robotic voice. "Manual override not permitted. Safety protocols active." Alex frowned. He had expected that. He tapped into the drone's interface, rerouting the commands. "Come on, think, Alex, think." Inside the car, Clara leaned forward, peering at the small device clamped to the window. "Are you hacking me?" she asked, her tone teasing, though Alex could detect a note of worry. "Something like that," he said. "Hold on tight. I'm going to try to move the car to the nearest station." The AI resisted at first, warning that manual interference could cause the system to lock down entirely. Alex adjusted the drone, using precise movements to trick the AI into thinking it was receiving commands from the central hub. Slowly, the cable car began to glide forward. Clara let out a sigh of relief and laughed. You really know how to make a girl feel special, she called. Alex couldn't help but smile even though his palms were sweating. Just hang on. Minutes stretched like hours as the cable car crept toward the station. The wind whistled past, and Alex could see the city spreading below him, busy and beautiful. Clara held onto the railing, laughing nervously. I guess I really do owe you, she said again. Maybe I should get you something, a lifetime of favors, Alex chuckled. Just get down safely first. Finally, with a soft clunk, the cable car reached the station. The doors slid open and Clara stepped out carefully. She waved to Alex, who was still guiding the drone to land safely beside him. When he touched the ground, he felt a wave of relief wash over him. You did it, Clara exclaimed, throwing her arms around him in a quick hug. I knew you were clever, but that was impressive. Alex shrugged, trying to hide his nervousness. It was just a drone and some quick thinking. Nothing special, Clara laughed. Nothing special, you just saved me from hanging in midair like some city decoration. I think that counts as special. People around them were starting to cheer, some clapping, some recording videos. Alex felt a mix of embarrassment and pride, but Clara didn't seem to care. She pulled out a small holographic device from her pocket and waved it in front of Alex's face. I think we should celebrate. You owe me this time, or maybe I owe you. Either way, drinks on me later. Alex smiled, shaking his head. Maybe we can just walk back to the convention first. As they walked together, the city around them seemed even brighter. The cable cars hummed along above, and Alex couldn't help thinking about how humans had built machines that could carry people through the sky, and how humans like him could still find clever ways to make things right. Clara, noticing his thoughtful look, nudged him playfully. You know, Alex, if you ever get bored of drones, you could try rescuing cats from trees. Small victories before the big ones. Alex laughed. I think I'll stick with cable cars for now. But as they approached the tech convention, he noticed something strange on his hover drone interface. A tiny signal flicker he hadn't seen before. A brief, blinking pattern that seemed almost alive. Alex frowned. Clara, did you notice anything weird in the city? Clara tilted her head. Weird? Like what? Alex didn't answer yet. He didn't know if it was serious, but his gut told him something was off. For now, though, the rescue was over and Clara was safe. That was enough. But deep down, Alex had a feeling that today's adventure was just the beginning. And somehow, he knew that this little act of bravery, saving his mom's best friend from a cable car, was about to lead him into something much bigger than he could imagine. As the crowd dispersed and the cable cars continued to glide silently above the city, Alex tightened his grip on the drone controller. He was ready for whatever came next. The tech convention buzzed with activity. Bright holograms floated above booths, displaying new gadgets, robots, and inventions that looked like they had come from the future. Alex walked alongside Clara, still gripping the hover drone controller, eyes occasionally flicking to the small signal pattern that had appeared earlier. You're quiet, Clara said, her tone teasing but curious. Usually, you're talking 10 miles a minute about gadgets. Alex shrugged. I'm thinking. Something weird happened when I was controlling the drone. I saw a signal. It wasn't normal. It blinked differently than the usual city network patterns. Clara raised an eyebrow. Blinked differently. You mean like trying to send a secret message? Maybe, Alex replied cautiously. I don't know yet, but it seemed alive somehow, not just random noise. Clara laughed. Well, if there's one person I trust to investigate strange things, it's you. But don't get us into trouble, okay? Alex smiled. I'll try not to. They made their way to Alex's mom's booth. Her presentation was about a new AI interface designed to help with city traffic management. People crowded around, asking questions and taking notes. Alex waved briefly, but his attention kept drifting back to the small blinking pattern on the drone screen. Clara noticed. You're staring at that thing more than my sparkling personality, she teased. Alex chuckled. I think this signal might lead to something bigger. Maybe a problem in the city systems, or maybe just something strange. I want to check it out after the presentation. Clara smirked. After a cable car rescue and saving your mom's best friend from being a floating ornament, I'd say you deserve a little adventure. The presentation ended without incident and the crowd slowly dispersed. Alex grabbed his backpack and pulled out the drone, now fully charged and ready for another flight. Clara's eyes lit up. "You're really going to fly that thing around the city?" "Yes," Alex said simply. "I think the signal is coming from somewhere high above, maybe even from one of the satellites." Clara laughed again. "High above, huh? You know, I never thought I'd go on a satellite mission with a teenager, but here we are." Alex rolled his eyes but smiled. "Don't worry. I don't have a spaceship yet, just the drone." They moved to a quiet rooftop near the center of the city. The sun was beginning to set, painting the sky with orange and pink streaks. Alex launched the drone carefully, guiding it upward through the maze of skyscrapers. Clara leaned over the edge of the roof, marveling at the view. "You know," she said thoughtfully, "there's something peaceful about watching the city from up here. Everything seems small but connected, like it's all part of one big story." Alex nodded. "Exactly. And sometimes the small parts tell the biggest stories." As the drone climbed higher, the blinking signal grew stronger. Alex tapped the controls, zooming in to follow the source. The drone's sensors started picking up unusual energy readings, pulses that didn't match anything in the regular city network. "Looks like you're onto something," Clara said, her tone serious for the first time. "But what is it?" Alex frowned. "I don't know yet. But it feels intelligent, like it's trying to communicate." The drone moved past the top floors of the tallest skyscrapers, finally breaking through into the sky above the city. Tiny dots of stars appeared as evening fell, but something else shimmered in the distance. A small satellite orbiting silently, its metal surface glinting in the fading sunlight. "That has to be it," Alex whispered. "That's where the signal is coming from." Clara leaned closer. "A satellite? Wait, aren't those supposed to be automated? How can it signal anything?" Alex shook his head. "I don't know yet, but I'm going to find out." He guided the drone closer. The satellite was old, dusty, with small solar panels that looked like they hadn't been maintained in years. Its blinking light matched the pattern he had noticed. But there was something strange. The light seemed to change when the drone approached, almost as if it was responding. Clara's eyes widened. "You're telling me this satellite is alive?" "I don't know if it's alive," Alex said, "but it's definitely aware. And it's trying to talk." They hovered above the satellite, studying it carefully. Alex opened a small interface on the drone, attempting to decode the blinking pattern. The lights formed sequences, patterns almost like a language. "This is incredible," Alex whispered. "It's a real communication protocol. Someone or something built this to send messages." Clara leaned closer, fascinated. "Messages from space." "From this satellite," Alex said, "but the messages don't look random. They're asking for help." Clara's expression softened. "Help? How can a satellite need help?" Alex frowned. "Maybe it's malfunctioning. Maybe it's stuck in orbit or its systems are failing. Whatever it is, it's reaching out." Clara's eyes sparkled. "Well, it looks like we're going to be rescuing something else now. You and me saving satellites. I can get used to this." Alex couldn't help but laugh. "It's not exactly a cable car, but yeah, I guess we'll try." They spent the next hour analyzing the signal. Alex discovered that the satellite's orbit was slowly decaying. Without help, it could lose control and crash, potentially causing minor chaos in the city's communication systems. The blinking patterns were its attempts to stabilize itself, but its AI wasn't advanced enough to handle the problem alone. Clara crossed her arms. "So it's asking for a human helper." "Exactly," Alex said. "And if we can't fix it, the city might face all kinds of trouble." Clara's face turned serious. "Well, then we better fix it." Alex nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and responsibility. I think we'll need to interface with it directly. I can try sending commands through the drone, but it's tricky. Any mistake and we could make things worse. Clara grinned. Don't worry, I've handled tricky before, and you're smart enough to get us through. I have faith. They worked in tandem. Alex guided the drone close to the satellite, using a special adapter he had built to connect its communication port. The blinking lights changed as the satellite recognized the drone's interface. It seemed cautious, almost curious. Okay, Alex whispered, I'm going to send a small calibration pulse. That should stabilize its core systems enough for us to communicate. Clara held her breath. The drone hummed softly, sending pulses of light to the satellite. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the satellite's lights blinked in rapid sequence, faster than before. It's responding, Alex shouted, excitement and relief flooding him. It's trying to thank us, Clara laughed softly. A thank you from a satellite, that's a first. Alex studied the signal carefully. It was indeed a kind of gratitude, but also a request for guidance. The satellite's AI was old but functional, relying on humans to adjust its orbit. Alex realized that with the right commands, they could correct the trajectory safely. Clara, he said, I need you to help me calculate the trajectory adjustments. We can't do it alone. Clara nodded, pulling out her portable tablet. Though she wasn't a tech expert, her sharp mind and quick reasoning proved invaluable. Together, they ran simulations, checked calculations, and prepared to send the adjustments to the satellite. Hours passed. The city lights twinkled below as the stars came out. People on the streets probably had no idea that two unlikely heroes were saving a satellite tonight. Alex's hands were tired, but he felt a thrill he had never experienced before. This was bigger than any school project. This was real. Finally, the moment came. Alex sent the first adjustment pulse. The satellite blinked in acknowledgement. Slowly, its orbit corrected itself. The blinking light pattern changed from frantic to steady calm. It was working. Clara grinned. We did it. Alex allowed himself a small laugh, leaning back. We actually did it. The satellite, it's safe. For a moment, the city below seemed peaceful, almost like it was watching them in quiet approval. The two of them stared at the stars, knowing they had done something important, something that mattered. Clara nudged Alex. You know, saving satellites isn't a bad second act after rescuing me from a cable car. You might have a career in this, you know. Alex laughed. Yeah, maybe. But I think the adventure isn't over yet. The satellite blinked one last time before stabilizing completely. Alex watched the signal disappear from the drone screen. Somehow, it felt like a small friend was saying goodbye, trusting them to keep the city safe. As they packed up, Clara glanced at Alex. You know, I'm starting to think you really are good at this hero thing. Cable cars, satellites, what's next? Alex smiled mysteriously. I guess we'll see. Together they left the rooftop, the city alive with lights, sound, and the hum of endless possibilities. They had faced danger, even if it was subtle, and had succeeded with courage, brains, and teamwork. And deep down, Alex knew that the strange blinking signal was just the start of something much bigger, a mystery that would take them beyond the city, beyond the sky, and maybe even beyond the stars. The city hummed with life as Alex and Clara walked back from the rooftop, their minds still buzzing from the evening's adventure. The satellite they had just helped was now safely orbiting the Earth, but something about the experience left Alex restless. The blinking signal had felt almost intelligent. He could not shake the feeling that it was more than a random malfunction. Clara noticed his thoughtful look. You're quiet again, thinking about the satellite, she asked. Alex nodded. Yeah, something about it felt alive, like it wanted us to do more. Clara smiled. Well, if there's one thing I've learned from knowing your mom, it's that curiosity can get you into trouble and excitement at the same time. Alex laughed. That's true, but I think this time it's more than curiosity. I think the satellite was trying to warn us. Clara raised an eyebrow. Warn us. About what? Alex hesitated. I don't know yet, but I want to investigate. There might be a larger problem with the city's AI network. Clara nodded seriously. Then I'll help. If you're doing this, we'll do it together. The next morning, Alex returned to the rooftop with his drone, this time bringing additional sensors and equipment he had borrowed from his school lab. Clara followed, carrying her tablet and notebooks, ready to assist in any way she could. The city below stretched like a living circuit board, cables and lights connecting towers in a web of technology. Alex launched the drone, carefully steering it toward the satellite's last known orbit. The signal had disappeared after the stabilization, but his sensors were picking up small anomalies in the city's network, tiny flickers, random spikes in data traffic that didn't match normal patterns. These anomalies are scattered, Alex said, pointing at the screen. But they all seem to trace back to the central AI hub that manages the city systems. Something or someone is interfering, Clara frowned. Interfering like hacking. Not exactly, Alex replied. It doesn't feel malicious, more like confused or trying to communicate. They followed the signal through the sky, past skyscrapers and neon-lit streets, finally reaching a towering building near the city's center. The central AI hub was a massive structure, its surface covered in sensors and antennae, glowing softly with data streams. Alex guided the drone closer. Look at this, he said, zooming in on the building. The AI is sending out pulses to stabilize itself, but some of the signals are bouncing strangely. It's almost like a part of it is failing. Clara's eyes widened. You mean the city's AI could stop working? Not completely, Alex said, but if this continues, it could cause major disruptions. Traffic, communications, energy distribution, all could be affected. Clara looked worried but also determined. Then we need to fix it. Right now, Alex nodded. He activated the drone's interface and attempted to access the AI network. The hub's systems were complex, far beyond anything he had worked with before, but the satellite from last night had taught him something important. Even the most advanced machines could communicate in simple ways. This part here, Alex said, pointing at the interface, is sending the confusing signals. It looks like the AI is trying to adapt to a problem it can't fully solve. I think it wants guidance. Clara leaned closer. So we just give it instructions, Alex nodded. Exactly. But carefully. One wrong command could make things worse. They worked in silence, the hum of the city below fading as they focused on the task. Alex wrote small programs to stabilize the signals, testing each one before sending it. Clara monitored the responses, noting patterns and helping him adjust the instructions. Hours passed. The sun moved across the sky, casting long shadows over the city. The AI hub's lights flickered as the system slowly began to stabilize. The anomalies decreased and the pulses became steady. Clara let out a sigh of relief. It's working. We're actually helping it. Alex smiled, but his brow remained furrowed. Yes, but there's something else. Look at these readings. He pointed to a set of unusual spikes in the data flow. There's a hidden signal embedded in the system. Someone or something has been tampering with it for a long time. Clara frowned. Tampering? Who would do that? I don't know yet, Alex said. But it's clever. Whoever did this made it almost invisible, blending it with normal traffic. We need to trace it. They followed the hidden signal through the network, past layers of security protocols and firewalls, finally discovering its source. A small, forgotten satellite orbiting the city, different from the one they had helped the night before. Its metal surface was scratched and weathered, and it emitted a faint, steady light. That has to be it, Alex whispered. This is the source of the interference. Clara squinted at the satellite. It looks abandoned, but it's still active. Yes, Alex said. And I think it's sentient like the other one, but this one is struggling. Its systems are failing and it's affecting the city. Clara's eyes softened. Then we have to help it just like last time. Alex nodded. Exactly, but this will be harder. It's older and its systems are more complex. We'll need to carefully interface with it and stabilize its orbit before it causes real trouble. They spent the next few hours preparing. Alex built a new adapter for the drone, allowing it to connect to the satellite's communication ports. Clara analyzed the satellite's blinking patterns, noting the sequences that indicated system failures. As night fell, they launched the drone once more, guiding it toward the satellite. The city lights shimmered below, and the wind carried a soft hum from the towers. Alex's heart raced. This was more dangerous than anything he had done before, not physically, but technically. One mistake could make the city's problems worse. The drone reached the satellite and Alex carefully attached the adapter. The satellite blinked in recognition, its lights flickering rapidly. It seemed anxious, almost like it was aware of its own failing systems. Clara whispered, "It's okay. We're here to help." Alex began sending small calibration pulses, stabilizing the satellite's core systems. The blinking lights changed from frantic to steady, indicating that the satellite was responding. "We're doing it," Alex said, excitement building. "It's working." Clara watched the readings, helping Alex adjust the pulses. Together, they carefully guided the satellite back into a safe orbit, preventing it from causing further interference with the city's AI network. Finally, the satellite stabilized completely. Its lights blinked slowly, a calm pattern that seemed almost thankful. Clara grinned. "We did it, again." Alex allowed himself a small laugh, feeling a mix of relief and pride. Yes, the city is safe and the satellite, it's okay. For a moment they watched the stars above, the quiet hum of the city below. Alex realized that human curiosity, ingenuity, and teamwork had saved the day. They had faced a hidden threat, solved a complex problem, and made a difference. Clara nudged him playfully. "You know, I think you might be a hero, Alex. Cable cars, satellites, and now city systems. Not bad for a teenager." Alex smiled. "I guess this is just the beginning." Clara looked at him, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Then let's be ready for whatever comes next." As they packed up their equipment and watched the city's lights reflect off the glass towers, Alex knew she was right. The adventure was far from over. Something larger was out there, waiting to test their skills and courage. And together they would face it, smart, brave, and unstoppable. The city lay quiet beneath the stars, its streets twinkling with lights and the hum of life from the late-night traffic. But for Alex and Clara, the night was just beginning. The first satellite had been stabilized, and the second one, the hidden, struggling satellite, was now safe in orbit. Yet Alex could not shake the feeling that something bigger was unfolding. "Alex," Clara said, leaning against the railing of the rooftop, "you're acting like this isn't over, but the satellites are fine, right? We saved them." Alex frowned, tapping the drone controller. "Yes, they're fine, but I noticed something in their signals, a hidden pattern. It's subtle, almost invisible, but it's repeating. Something is trying to communicate through the satellites." Clara's eyes widened. "Communicate from space," Alex nodded. "Exactly, and I think it's intelligent. Not like humans, not like normal AI, but aware. And it needs us to understand it." Clara laughed softly, shaking her head. "You always end up in these situations, from cable cars to satellites to whatever this is. I'm starting to think saving the city is your hobby." "Not a hobby," Alex said seriously. "A responsibility. If there's something intelligent out there trying to reach us, we can't ignore it." Clara smiled, her eyes full of admiration. "Well, if anyone can figure it out, it's you, and I'm coming along. You know, for backup and moral support." Alex grinned. "I wouldn't have it any other way." The next morning, Alex prepared the drone with additional sensors and communication modules, hoping to decode the signals more clearly. Clara joined him on the rooftop with her tablet, ready to help analyze the patterns. The city was awake now, and people moved through the streets below, unaware of the invisible struggle in orbit above them. Alex launched the drone, guiding it toward the first satellite they had helped. The small blinking light on its surface pulsed gently as if acknowledging their presence. Alex tapped on the controls, trying to establish a stable link. "Here goes nothing," he whispered. The drone hovered close, and the satellite's lights blinked in rapid sequences. Alex's screen displayed a cascade of patterns, a language made of pulses and pauses. He tried translating the signals into simple commands, using the coding methods he had learned at school and the improvisations from the previous night. "It's asking for more help," Alex said slowly. "Not just orbit correction. It wants guidance on something bigger, something about the network that connects the satellites to the city's systems." Clara leaned over, studying the data. "You mean it wants to control something?" "Not control," Alex corrected. "Coordinate. It wants to work with us. It's trying to stabilize all the satellites and the city's AI at once, but it can't do it alone." Clara's eyes widened. "So it's asking for a team effort, us and it?" "Yes," Alex said. "And we need to do it carefully. One wrong move and we could disrupt the city completely." For hours, they worked in tandem. Alex guided the drone, sending calibration pulses and small commands to the satellite. Clara analyzed the incoming signals, translating the blinking patterns into data that Alex could use. Slowly, the satellite began to respond more accurately, adjusting its systems and sending clear instructions to the others in orbit. "This is incredible," Clara whispered. "It's like we're part of a cosmic team, humans and satellites working together," Alex smiled. "Yeah, but it's not easy. The signals are fragile and the timing has to be perfect. If we mess up, the satellites could misalign and cause major disruptions." Clara nodded, her brow furrowed. "Then we just have to be extra careful, double-check everything. We can do this." As the hours passed, the hidden satellite began transmitting more complex data. It revealed that its orbit had been slowly decaying for years, and small errors in its systems were affecting other satellites. The first satellite they had helped was acting like a messenger, transmitting instructions and signals between satellites. But the network was fragile, and the hidden satellite was struggling to maintain balance. Alex realized that they needed to stabilize the satellites in sequence, one by one, following precise timing patterns. It was like conducting an orchestra. Each satellite had a role, and the slightest misstep could cause chaos. "Clara," he said, "we need to create a schedule for the signals. Each pulse, each adjustment, it has to happen at exactly the right moment. Otherwise, the satellites could collide or lose connection with the city systems." Clara looked determined. "Then let's make that schedule. I'll track the timings and check for errors while you send the pulses." They spent hours planning and coordinating. The city below slept, unaware of the two young humans orchestrating a delicate cosmic dance above them. Alex's fingers moved swiftly across the drone interface, sending pulses and monitoring responses. Clara's eyes never left the screen, tracking each satellite's movements and adjusting for minor errors. Slowly, the satellites began to align, their lights blinking in harmonious patterns. The hidden satellite stabilized, its orbit corrected. The first satellite transmitted a series of pulses that felt almost like gratitude. Alex and Clara exchanged a look, realizing they had succeeded. "We did it," Alex whispered. "All the satellites are stable. The city network is secure." Clara grinned. "And we didn't even break a sweat." "Well, maybe just a little," Alex laughed. "This was more than sweat. This was teamwork, humans and machines working together." The experience left Alex and Clara exhausted but exhilarated. They sat on the rooftop, watching the satellites blink gently in orbit, a cosmic reminder of their achievement. "You know," Clara said, leaning back, "I never imagined I'd be coordinating satellites with a teenager. This is amazing." Alex smiled. "It's more than amazing. It's proof that humans can do incredible things. We can solve problems, think creatively, and work together, even with machines that seem alive." Clara nodded. I think this is what your mom always meant when she talks about human potential. Humans can do things that no machine can do alone. Alex looked up at the stars, feeling a sense of pride and responsibility. Yeah, and there's so much more out there. We help these satellites, but what about the next challenge? The universe is full of problems waiting to be solved. Clara laughed softly. Then we better get ready, because knowing you, the next adventure is just around the corner. Alex nodded, feeling a surge of excitement. Together, they had faced a hidden threat, stabilized the satellites, and proved that human ingenuity and teamwork could overcome challenges that even advanced machines struggled with. And deep down, Alex knew that this was only the beginning. Something larger awaited them, a mystery that would test their skills, courage, and creativity to the fullest. As the city lights shimmered below and the satellites blinked softly above, Alex and Clara prepared for whatever lay ahead. The universe was vast, full of secrets and waiting for those brave enough to reach for them. And together they were ready. The city's skyline glimmered under the night sky, but for Alex and Clara, the calm was temporary. The satellites were stable, the city's AI network was secure, but the hidden pattern Alex had noticed persisted. It was subtle, almost like a heartbeat in the digital world, but it pulsed with an urgency that could not be ignored. Alex tightened his grip on the drone controller. Clara, something's still wrong. The satellites are stable, but this pattern keeps repeating. It's calling for help again. Clara tilted her head. Calling for help? I thought we fixed everything last night. Alex shook his head. I think we solved the immediate problems, but this signal, it feels bigger, smarter, like it's trying to tell us something important. Clara sighed but smiled. Then I guess we're not done yet. Let's see what it wants. They climbed to their usual rooftop, the drone humming softly as Alex launched it into the night sky. The blinking light of the hidden satellite appeared in the distance, its pulse steady but insistent. Alex guided the drone closer, analyzing the signal. It's more complex than before, Alex said. It's like a language made of light and pulses, and it's trying to communicate something urgent, something about the network and the city systems. Clara leaned over, her tablet open. Then let's decode it together. For hours they worked. Alex sent calibration pulses, the drone hovering close to the satellite, while Clara analyzed the blinking patterns and interpreted them into data. Slowly, a story emerged. The satellite, they realized, was not just malfunctioning. It was part of an experimental network designed to monitor and manage the city's AI systems. Over time, it had developed a form of self-awareness, learning from its interactions with other satellites. But one part of the network had been damaged and forgotten, leaving it isolated. The signal was a request for cooperation, a plea for guidance to integrate the systems fully. Clara's eyes widened. So it's not just asking for help, it's asking us to complete the network. To make the city systems work as a team, Alex nodded. Exactly. And if we can do this, we can prevent future problems and improve efficiency for everyone. But it will take careful coordination. They formulated a plan. Alex would use the drone to send precise commands to each satellite, guiding them into a synchronized formation. Clara would track the timing and patterns, ensuring no errors occurred. They worked like an orchestra conductor and composer, synchronizing the machines in orbit. The first adjustments went smoothly. The satellites blinked in harmony, their movements coordinated perfectly. The city's network stabilized further, responding to the satellite's guidance. Traffic signals aligned, communication nodes synchronized, and energy distribution became efficient. This is amazing, Clara whispered. We're literally working with machines in space to help the city run better, Alex smiled. And humans are still the key. Machines are powerful, but they need guidance. That's where we come in. Hours passed. The satellite's coordination became more complex, the patterns faster and more intricate. Alex's fingers moved nimbly over the drone interface, sending pulses, adjusting timings, correcting minor errors. Clara monitored everything, her eyes sharp and focused. Suddenly, the hidden satellite pulsed erratically. Alex froze. Something's wrong. One of the core satellites is out of sync. Clara leaned over quickly. What do we do? Alex took a deep breath. We fix it carefully. Don't panic. Minor mistakes can be corrected, but we need precision. He sent a series of pulses, carefully adjusting the satellite's orbit and synchronization. The blinking patterns slowly stabilized. The network responded immediately, correcting minor errors in the city systems. The satellites were back in harmony. Clara let out a sigh of relief. That was close, Alex nodded. Too close, but we did it. All the satellites are fully synchronized. The network is stable and the hidden pattern is gone. The hidden satellite blinked slowly, almost like a final thank you before settling into orbit peacefully. Alex smiled. It's done, they're all safe, and the city is secure. Clara looked at him, her eyes shining. You know, I think this is the coolest thing I've ever done. And you're incredible, Alex. Alex laughed softly. I didn't do it alone. We worked together. You helped every step of the way. Clara nudged him playfully. Then I guess I don't owe you anything after all. You earned it. Alex smiled. Maybe, but somehow I think this is just the beginning of bigger adventures. The city below shimmered, unaware of the cosmic rescue and coordination that had just taken place. Alex and Clara sat quietly, watching the satellites blink softly in the night sky. There was a sense of calm now, a perfect balance between human ingenuity and machine intelligence. You know, Clara said after a moment, humans really can do incredible things. I mean, we just saved a network of satellites and helped the city function better. That's amazing, Alex nodded. Yeah. It shows that intelligence, creativity, and teamwork, human qualities, are powerful. Machines are useful, but it's humans who make things work, who solve problems, who care. Clara smiled. And you're a perfect example. Brains, courage, and patience. I guess rescuing me from a cable car was just training for this, huh? Alex laughed. Exactly. Cable cars were just the warm-up. The two of them laughed, watching the city lights reflect off the glass towers. Alex felt a deep sense of accomplishment, but also humility. The universe was vast, full of challenges and mysteries, and tonight they had only taken the first steps. We should get back before your mom starts wondering where we are, Clara said. Alex nodded. Yeah, but somehow I feel like the adventure isn't over yet. There's always more to learn, more to explore, Clara grinned. Then I'm with you. No cable cars, no satellites, no problem. Let's face it together. They packed up the drone and prepared to leave the rooftop. As they walked through the quiet streets, the city alive beneath them, Alex felt a sense of pride and hope. They had faced hidden threats, solved complex problems, and proved that human ingenuity and teamwork could overcome challenges even advanced machines struggled with. The hidden satellites blinked silently above them, a reminder of what they had accomplished. And Alex knew that their actions, curiosity, courage, and intelligence, had made a difference. For a moment he looked up at the stars, imagining the possibilities waiting in the vast universe. If humans could solve problems on this scale, who knew what else they could achieve? Clara nudged him gently. You know, you should write a book about this someday. Cable cars, satellites saving the city, it would be a hit. Alex laughed. Maybe someday, but for now I think we just enjoy knowing we did something good. Clara smiled. Exactly, and maybe, just maybe, we're ready for the next adventure. Alex nodded. We'll be ready. Together, as they reached the end of the street, the city lights twinkling around them, Alex felt a deep sense of connection, not just to Clara, but to humanity itself. They had faced challenges that seemed impossible, yet with creativity, courage, and teamwork, they had succeeded. The city, the satellites, and even the hidden signal in the sky were all proof that humans could rise to any challenge, no matter how vast or complex. And somewhere in the distance, The blinking light of the satellites continued, steady and calm, like a promise that the future was bright, and that human ingenuity could truly shine, no matter the challenge.